All right, good evening, everyone. I think we waited enough for everyone. People had already registered and you were supposed to join by 5, so you already were aware of it. A hearty welcome to all of you. Uh, as usual, I always like to begin with a prayer. So, what we do is, yeah, we'll start with a prayer and thank you so much. We'll discuss everything later on. We'll just start with a prayer because I always believe that prayer gives us power to do things what we like. So let's just simply pray for a minute. And right, let's close our eyes, bow down our head, and pray for the teachers' community who are undergoing stress due to many reasons in the family, in society. Let's throw positive vibrations on each other. Let's have positive affirmations for each other. May our community grow, dwell, and overcome all the obstacles. We thank you, Lord, for the awesome result you have given to each of us for the students whom we taught last year. We acknowledge that the students got the best. Whatever is destined for them, you gave them in the same way. Please take care of our family members, us, and everyone around the world so that we are able to find a vaccine and we are able to fight this pandemic COVID 19. Keep us in the hollow of your hand. Thank you, Lord. Hi, everyone. So, first of all, I would like to start with congratulating each and every one of us with the awesome result which we have got. Some of our students were unable to open up sites, and still many of them have got their results. So, congratulations to each and every person, each and every teacher out here, each and every male or female, whosoever it is, all the teachers, teacher community, or in case if anybody is from management or any other, you you have done a commendable job last year, and that's why you have such awesome results. First of all, we need to congratulate ourselves, the efforts we had put in and the commendable results we have given, and this shows your enthusiasm, like how you have come together and you still want to discuss about your own students and how you're going to help them in the future, despite of having a lot of problems and stress going on. You are working at home as well as online. Some of our schools have started this online program where the classes begin from early in the morning till afternoon, and it's quite a humongous task. So we all are complying with it, and we all are complying with it. So let's start with our orientation. I would like to first acknowledge my thanks to Mahavir Publication. Now, this seminar has been arranged by them. Mahavir Publications was founded by late Shri Ram Kanwar Gupta in 1948. Mahavir Publication is one of the leading educational publishing house, and they have the legacy which is in carried by the four imprints. Like there are four, they have different portfolios. There we have Shri Mahavir Book Depot, and then we have that is they are the publishers. Then Shri Mahavir Book Depot Printing Division, P. Chand and Company, Mahavir Publishing Company. So it is known for its good written material and properly priced books. Also, they always are ready to acknowledge the teachers, so they always thank the teachers, authors, academicians, as well as professors, educators, for the expertise which they provide. And they also give you a hearty welcome, and I also give you a hearty welcome for this webinar. Now, those of you who already know me, well, that's good enough. I'm Pankil Priya, but those who do not know me and have joined the webinar for the first time, I would like to introduce myself. I am Pankil Priya. I'm based in Ludhiana. I've done my schooling from Dehradun, and I've been teaching business studies for last 20 years. Um, I've been teaching. Um, in case my audio is not clear, kindly mention it. I think it's quite clear to many of you. So in case if there's a problem, please mention in the chat box, right? Thank you so much. Um, Right. So I've been teaching for last 20 years, business studies 2+2, and I'm a keen enthusiast about business studies. I have my own YouTube channel running with the same. And all I know is that today we are together, and if I'm a resource person and you are the teachers, we are together to collaborate, come together, and find solutions with the changes every time CBSE has been making in the curriculum. So I just want to start with a word called well done. Now, teachers, what exactly do I mean by well done? Well done is a book written by Glenn Benchert. He wrote this book, and if you have attended my previous webinar, there was another book called 1 Minute Teacher, and there's a 1 Minute Manager. These are the books written by Ken Blanchard. 1 Minute Teacher, he just gave a helping hand. He was not completely not written by him. So Well Done is a book written by American author, and he says that it talks about a sea world in Orlando. There's a place called SeaWorld in Orlando where dolphins and where whales, there's a show of dolphins and whales. So this talks about a show of whales in SeaWorld Orlando where the whales, they show their acrobatics, and they show their leaps, and they show their jumps, and the spectators, they get awestruck with whatever is done by the whales. Now, when this book was being written, the author himself got inquisitive, and he asked the trainer out there that how do you actually manage to teach these killer whales? Like, what is the intention behind teaching these killer whales? How do you manage? Because the moment you go in front of them, we are scared. We might get killed anytime. So the trainer told them that it's not they who teach whales; it is the whales which teach them. So as my slides are moving, you can see I'm just narrating the story to you because I've read the book, and I'm just going to mention things to you. So when the trainer replied, it is not that we train the whales, it is that whales, they train us, and they are like teachers in school and managers at work. Can you believe whales being, it's a reciprocal. The trainer is telling this to the other person about the whale. So Shamu is one of the whale who teaches and who actually taught the traders patience, friendship, and good intentions. Now, how it all started? See, they said when we started getting the whales to this small place like SeaWorld, the predators, when they moved from the ocean, they were not ready to adjust out here. So adapting to a new place is a very, very difficult task. So the whale used to go here and there, and they wanted it to do the acrobatics and jumps and leaps as per their program or their event, and the whales used to do as per their move. So they said that we have to find a technique to train these whales, and have to work in collaboration with them. So what they did was they put a rope just beneath the water. So whale used to cross the rope, go the other side, and whenever it used to feel like it used to jump, again come back, go. So what they started doing was eventually and gradually they started raising the rope. So the what happened with this whale, and the moment the whale used to do something wrong, it never used to get fish to eat, but the trainer used to come and just because whales like the touch, so it used to touch and play with the whale and be near to it. Ultimately, what happened was that the killer whale, it started, it learned the techniques and it turned into a performer rather than killing. And the trainer said that these whales do not understand English. And it was a Herculean task to train them as per the requirement. So as per Whale the trainer is the whale, and actual the real trainer is learning from them, and it's a vice versa relationship. This is what we are talking about in today's webinar. It is our vice versa relationship. We are going to talk about this concept. Why I'm picking this up? Because we need to train ourselves. We have to get adjusted to the adapted environment. Sometimes our management says something else to do. Sometimes our teachers want something else to be done, and we want to do something else. So it's about how we create that positive kind of relationship with our students, with our co-teachers, with our management, and how we bring in the changes out here. How we bring in the changes out here is what we are going to talk about out here in this webinar. So our basic thing is that we are going to discuss about is uh, today is about competency based. Now, how we take out a competency? You know what happens is uh, what we usually do is when we talk about our relationship with people, we always try to catch people doing something wrong rather than catching people doing something right. And we never ever say anything when people do something right. So, like for example, if you're doing something right throughout the day, nobody is going to appreciate us. But the moment we do something wrong, immediately, मैंने कहा था नहीं गलत करोगे. I told you you're going to do this wrong. So immediately the reaction comes. In a regional language, we start speaking, or whichever way, we start reacting towards it. Now, what is the reason? What are we supposed to do? So what we need to do is, first of all, when we want positive relationships with our people, with everyone around us, we need to do three major things. First, we need to build trust as the trainer and the whales did. We need to accentuate the positive. That is, we need to appreciate each other for whatever is happening. And whenever mistakes occur, we need to redirect the energy. How do we redirect the energy? We have to simply ignore what is happening as wrong, and we just have to just tell the other person to do the thing in a different manner, like we do it with our students. So why I am picking up this out here is that CBSE is coming out with so many circulars every day. So we need, instead of cribbing about that what is this, how it is to be done, how we need to just build our trust within our community. We need to give out the positive vibrations, and simply, in case if we go wrong, so what, there's another time we can make it right. Nobody is born perfect. We're not supposed to be perfect, doing everything in synchronization, or always being the best out of the things which we do. No, it's not required. So whenever we work anywhere, what we need to do is we need to do what is right. We need to concentrate on what is right rather than doing what is wrong. And there are two things, there are two things which Weldon talks about. It talks about gotcha and Weldon. You know what's gotcha? Gotcha means catching people doing things wrong. The moment somebody does wrong and you say, oh, I've got you. So you don't have to do that. You have to catch people doing right and appreciate them. Let's go to the last slide. And I have said, kudos to you teachers. Well done. Awesome. Energize yourself and make things in proper manner. Keep your positive vibrations on and work to the 100%. So with COVID-19 in our life, we are facing so many problems like online teaching, curriculum changes, new concept, competency-based learning, and how we are going to cross this complete hurdle, how we are going to face it. You have taken the first leap, you have taken the first step. Since you're doing this webinar and we are just going to discuss the things, kudos exactly to you. So it's not well done only, it's well done. Starting with competency based, I would like to concentrate and ask few questions whenever required. But then first, I would like to talk about what exactly do we mean by competency. So what I feel and what I got to understand, according to me, what competency is, something to do with the skill, something to do with what, knowledge, something to do with our own learning ability. So when we talk about knowledge, skill, ability, so that we have good enhanced or better or advanced learning program, or when we talk about our abilities, when we talk about abilities to perform a given task, it is known as competency based. Now, how do we actually analyze competency? How do we analyze? See, when we were learning, when we were at our learning stage, our parents used to give us a lot of practical knowledge. They used to tell us, okay, do this. They used to teach us doing maths question with a wall clock or maybe with a timer. So there was a lot of competency they were teaching us in day-to-day life. Mom, whenever we used to travel from one place to another, we all have played this game in our lives. Our parents used to tell us, see, where is this particular board? And what was this? What were they trying to do? They were trying you to acknowledge you to the route you're traveling. So they would tell you, read this board, how many cars. So they were helping you in counting and so many other activities. That was just competency. That was the way to do. But now the concept of competency had turned into more of rote learning. We had become very book oriented. So in order to become better and in order to get into competency, I've given you a circular out here, circular 34 of CBSE. So in order to give you this exactly, what exactly do we mean by competency based learning, I'm going to give you an example. See, when you talk about competency, you talk about people. Let's suppose there is a group of 100 people, and out of this 100 people, one person is supposed to arrange a kind of an event for these 100 people. Now the skill, the ability to do this, uh, which is show the slide again. Okay, I'll show the slide again. I'll go to the example slide again. Right. So can you please switch on to example slide again? Yeah. So when we talk about, suppose there's a gathering of 100 people, and one person is made in charge. Now that one person who is made in charge for this event has some kind of skill, some kind of ability to conduct that particular event, you know. So whenever you have a person in school who conducts, you know, who takes charge of the annual function, or who takes charge of any one of the maybe Independence Day function, there is a person who has got that competency. So the same competency we need to instill. We learned it through our experiences of years. We need to instill the same competency in our children, so that when they pass out from the school and they go for the graduation level, they are already able to face the problem solving skill, the decision making skill. They know how to decide on things, they know how to introspect, they know how to synthesize things, how to understand things, how to become better. So this is what we talk about in competency based learning. See, I've given you a pictorial out here where I've talked about three different stages, where I've shown you how by the time of graduation, if we start competency at a very basic stage, or at a very basic age, when we go till graduation, people already are aware of what their competency is and how they can perform their skill to the best. So, talking about again, CBSE is not limited the competency-based learning to this part only. They have given many things. So, like we're talking about the 21st century skill, let's start with the first thing. We have four C's. These have been given by various circulars. We have been given various circulars in the of CBSE. So, this is from one of the circulars. First is critical thinking. Now, when we talk about critical thinking, what are we exactly aiming at? See, when we talk about critical thinking, we are giving people the capacity to analyze, to solve a problem. Let's suppose, let's pick up very simple case studies. Let's pick up questions of maths in very, the kind of questions they have, that if I have one apple and one friend of mine gives me another apple, how many apples do I have? Simple critical thinking. The child is thinking, how many apple will I have when somebody else gives me another apple to eat? So that's what is critical thinking. When you start analyzing, when you start synthesizing, when you talk about problem solving, when you talk about decision making, critical thinking comes into the picture skew. Next, we're going to talk about is creativity and innovation. So these are the four C's, right? When you talk about creativity and innovation, I think all of you have been doing commendable job of creativity and innovation since COVID-19 started. Everyone is coming out with beautiful PowerPoint presentations and various kind of questions. And in one of our webinars, we took an initiative where we showed riddles, and there were some riddles which were based on idioms and phrases. So creativity and innovation. Collaboration, I started my webinar with collaboration. Until unless we work together, we'll not be able to make anything clear. And communication. So when we talk about communication, competency actually is majorly communicating to people that we need creative, critical thinking, creativity, and collaboration. Now, how learning skills goes to the next level. So the next level is information that I'm supposed to have, the media which I have of teaching, and the technology which I have of teaching. So the whatever information I have, I need to have lots of source. I need to read. I need to be updated. Media could be anything. It could be like you're talking in terms of technology. It could be your WhatsApp calls, or it could be your Pinterest, or it can be any kind of media, whatever. It can be print media. It can be your technology-based media. It can be your just simple class-based information and talking and teaching. Simple means it can be any ways, whichever way you're talking about. But learning skills have to be based on right kind of information and proper literacy. Now, when you talk about learning skills, when we talk about learning skills, we are again going to another part of it, third part of it, flips. Now, what exactly do we mean by flips? We talk about how we can adapt. You must be wondering, why am I talking about all these three things in competency? So when we're talking about flexibility and adaptability, leadership and responsibility, initiative and self-direction, productivity, social and cross-cultural interaction. The very first webinar which I conducted in the beginning of the COVID, when I just conducted my first webinar, I spoke in Hindi. My communication was in Hindi, and many people said that they are not able to understand my webinar. This was a kind of social and cultural interaction I had. And then there are a lot of people who send me message that, ma'am, we need you to speak in English because we are from South and we cannot understand. Lovely. This is what we are here for. This is what we are supposed to do to our children. We need to give them a proper social cultural interaction. So what you can do is, we face this problem today, let them not face it. Let them uh, exchange information. Let our children communicate at different levels from one state to another, so that they know that how you can be multilingual, not being just bilingual, and how you can increase your effectiveness, how you can take self-direction. So when we talk about competency in the 21st century, it's 4 C's, it's IMT, that's another short form, and it's flips, so another thing. Right, so after talking about 21st century skills, I have another thing out here, right? Uh, I have another thing out here. This is one of your circulars. It talks about competency-based education. Now, when we talk about competency-based education, what are we again highlighting at? So CBSE in its circular gave few points, and these points had 1 minute. I think I have, there is some, oh, all right, 1 second. Just a moment, please. Okay, okay, right. Fine. So next we're talking about competency-based education. Now, when we talk about competency-based education, and we need to know the outcomes, what we need to do exactly. This is a circular from CBSE, again circular number 34, Annexure B. Not before, just before Annexure B, we have this. There are some around 6 points which have been highlighted out here, and we have talked about these points separately also. So I have got separate slides for you. Please just go through it. The first slide says, what is it that the student should be able to do after student has undergone the learning process? This is the first question they talk about. So now, whenever, if you will just see the alternative calendar, or if you'll see any other part, everywhere CBSE has been mentioning and they're talking about, please give live experiences to your students. Start your lecture with some person who is well known and who is just begun as an entrepreneur. I have a book called Stay Hungry, Stay Foolish. It has got complete detail about the IT revolution, how at that time Naukri.com, Google, all these companies came into pictures queue, and how these entrepreneurs, they went from one room working to big offices. So when we talk about the real life situations to our children, 100% that will motivate them also, and that will bring out their competency. I have given out here one very good example. This is a case study about, you can just, maybe you're not able to read it right now, but if you type on Google IIM case study, and this case study is about chai wala, you will find somewhere around 5 to 6 case studies about different chai walas who have, what they have done is, they have, this one has done is, outside IIM, he started his tea stall. He used to sell tea, egg, burji. This is what it has been given here. If you read the third line, right? And it used to give buns and pans and cigarettes to people. And you will not believe his remuneration per day is 2,000. He's fetching 2,000, or maybe that's the profit, not remuneration. I wrong word used. His profit per day, he's earning rupees 2,000. Now, this was a case study, and he was actually invited to IIM, and he became an observer and listened to the complete talk, and they made a case study about him on the principles of management. This is your 6th or 7th line, various principles of management, how he used them in his simple tea stall to get a good business out of his tea stall. Can you believe this kind of study would, of course, you would say, ma'am, this would motivate the children to open up a tea stall. Not exactly that, but we have chai points and we have different these coffee shops. They will start it like this only. So if you give these kind of live examples, it immediately taps to their competency. So this is the first slide which talks about that you have to take an effort or make an effort to give them, the outcome for learning through live experiences. Then what is it that the student need to learn, of course, or know in order to demonstrate their particular set of learning? They need to have some kind of limited curriculum. They cannot have any broad periphery. And we are not watching Three Idiots as a movie that, like Amir Khan, you can go and sit in any class and take education and then you become the topper of the school. We are talking about the practical aspect of the life. So, of course, we need to have some kind of curriculum. We need to have CBC curriculum. And I have discussed the revised curriculum also out here. I've just given you as an example. So when we talk about competency based, we are talking about the revised syllabus curriculum. We're going to discuss that also. Every time things change, we change for our children and we tell them, we guide them accordingly. So when we talk about competency based education, first is that you need to have live interaction, live examples. Second is that you need to go according to the curriculum. Now, the third one. The third slide says, what are the classroom transaction activities that will become the basis for the kind of defined outcome of learning? Now, what exactly can you do in a classroom? You can do a lot of things. I have written here a few examples. You must be wondering how these can be used. I have used each and every one in my class teaching almost every day. Riddles, I have used. Then I have used idiom based riddles, we've done. So those who attended my second seminar, they would be knowing it. Role play, we do role play on management. Whenever I begin with my chapter, I do a role play on management as well as coordination. Mind map, when we did the previous 4th webinar, I showed people how to make mind maps. Advertisement, we talked about the advertisements, and I just took an initiative how I did advertisement with my children. In one of the functions of the school, we took up all the activities of school, like we have and a message center which is called eCare. We have online library, and we have, our school took us out for an excursion to US, and there are different things which were there. So I made advertisement on each and every activity and presented it to the parents, and parents really loved it. Similarly, we did the advertisement in our class on different chapters. They had to sell the chapters. Can you believe someone selling planning, someone selling organizing, someone selling directing? And that's what we did. And it came out so well. So these are the activities. Then you have to do team-based activities. You can give them a play. or you can give them a nukkad natak to do. You can give them situation based activity like a case study. You can give them a situation. Like many times I give them, uh, when I teach marketing, I talk about one of the examples of Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah, there was one situation where he was asked to sell a pen, being a marketing manager, and he was able to do it so effectively. So he created the demand for that particular product on spot and was able. When you give these kind of situation based activities, an example, I give my children a pen and tell them, please sell this pen for me. And then when they come and they sell the pen to me, I ask them 10 questions. I said, this pen, why should I buy? Why should I not buy this product? I am so much interested in that product. Situation based activity. Exhibition. You may not believe, you must be thinking I'm talking just for fun, but actually we did exhibition where we created a bank. We created a bank, and in that bank proper transactions were done. And of course we had our own school logo on it, and there was a booklet or a passbook or a checkbook, or everything was made with our school logo in it. And people were given enough understanding, and they kept on explaining how the whole process works. We did education fair where classes to 1 to 12, every subject had to depict one or the other topic. Handouts, you can give it in your class. Suppose one topic, let's say directing. On directing, tell your children to make a handout, and print out that handout for everyone and give it to them one day, just before they leave for the home. What will happen? That is just teaching aid, and they'll be able to learn it better. I've given some examples in the next slide, where I've shown some riddles out here. Like for example, I have here, I am vitamin M, and more work, more pay, more motivation. Which principle am I? So it is remuneration to person, and so on. Jack of one trade, master of none. So this is how, guess me. These are the riddles which you can always use anytime to tell your people that how these things can be used for day-to-day activities. Next, third thing, when we talk about competency. Now, how will the teacher check the learning, and how will the student demonstrate their learning? Of course, you can take a quiz, you can take a test, there are crossword puzzle, and also you can ask your student to give a presentation. We do it many times. We ask one child to stand up and tell him to present his case in favor or against a particular thing. Like for example, managers are important or not. In light of the importance of management, please go for the topic or against the topic. Planning is important or not, go against or for the topic and present your case. So that's what the children do, and they exactly present their case. So we have puzzles, we have uh, you know um, crossword puzzles. Apart from that, we have role plays, we have so many things. These are the activities which we take, and this puzzle is from nowhere else. This is from book 2 of our own CBSE curriculum. So they are always there, you just have to use it. Go beyond the curriculum to make learning little competency based. We come to the next slide, and next point we're going to discuss is, how will the teacher know at what level of learning the student is? Now here comes critical, reference. When you talk about the criteria for testing, now this is the most critical time. If you take a test and if the child doesn't do well, he gets demoralized. If you do not take the test and the things go on just like that, again you get demoralized, because you do not know what you're teaching the child is able to get it or not. So what you need to do, uh, what you need to do is that, just a moment, there was one query out here. I would take the queries please later on. Can you please suggest the queries later on? Right, thank you so very much. And in case if you want me to take up the riddles, it is in the webinar 2, Pankil Priya webinar 2, that's on YouTube. You can find it out there. Please refer there, it's a request to you. And any other questions or queries you can ask later on. Right now we're just going ahead with the competency base, which is a major bone of contention for all of us. This is my understanding towards competency base, how I've been doing for last 20 years. I'm just sharing my information with you. So it is better that if we just go ahead with it and just try to understand this first. That's a major initiative. Like, so when you talk about testing, it becomes a big criteria. Now you can't make everything rote learning because CBC is asking competency based. How do you actually tell them to work on it? So of course, with this paradigm shift, you need to concentrate on more taking the kind of tests which you are doing. You can give them tests on various bases. You can give them one question test per day, or you can give them open book test. That is again your choice, but that is a way to know that whatever you have taught. What I usually do to test my children is whatever live examples I give as per the situations, or whichever examples or anecdotes I give, I frame questions on that and I put it in the test or in the exam. And when the children are able to answer, that means they were listening to us. Our purpose of clarifying their concept is done. It is no more rote learning. So we come to the next slide. This was again, we talked about competency-based education. Next, we're talking about, so what exactly the total outcome will be. We discussed how many points? We've discussed almost 5 points, and total outcome is out of competency-based education. We need to talk about curriculum. We need to talk about pedagogy. We need to talk about assessment. We need to talk about criteria, reference testing. We need to talk about everything we have here. And when we are covering all the points, competency based education is totally clear. Totally clear. How it is clear? Like, we have to assess our children on either objective assessments or performance assessment. Now, I would like to highlight one thing out here. When we talk about pedagogy, when we talk about competency based education, when we talk about learning outcomes, what we are trying to know is that how our children are going to have their life skills in a better manner. So the objective assessment or performance assessment is very essential. Teachers, dear teachers, you have been doing it. Only the terminology has changed and the level has risen. We were doing it at lesser level. Now the level has risen, and as well as the area has widened. All you have to do is just make it according to that, and you're into nothing else but CBE, that is competency based education. Starting with objective assessments. How do you give objective assessment to your children? Because we need to know the learning outcome of the complete thing. So when we talk about objective assessment, first is proctored, the other is timed, next is multiple choice, and next is fill in the blank. You know what is proctored? Now, proctored is when you are sitting here, like I'm sitting, and onto the other side, I ask all of you to open up your Zoom sessions and you attend the paper, and I just see and invigilate you. Like, maybe one of the ways is Google Classroom. The other way is Zoom class. So you can invigilate your children and they send you a PDF and you check their work. So this is one way. Nowadays I'm talking about competency based now. Later on, you know it much better. All you have to do is give a test in the class, situation based test, and children will do it and you can immediately check it. But here in Google Classroom, you have that kind of facility where you can check online on your phones also. Or otherwise, if you're technology savvy and if you actually have technology and printers at home, children send you PDF, take all the data in your pen drive, get the printout, check, and give it back to them. So that is another way. I have been doing all the three things invariably, wherever which is suitable. In some classes, I've used Google Classroom. In some place, I've used the Zoom style, where I've taken up all the data, all whatever answers were sent in PDF form. I took it out through my printer and checked it and gave back them the information. So that's your choice. That is proctored. You are invigilating. I also took an initiative. Just wait on just on this. I took an initiative where I requested the parents to sit and invigilate, and I will invigilate from here. So at this time, you can take both the initiative. What you're trying to do is you're making the person more competent, more skillful, and more knowledgeable to do something which is little typical. Next slide. We go to now time-based assessment, Google Forms. I think you all are aware of Google Forms. You can give them time-based test, MCQs, frame your own questions, and give them the test. give them the time slot. The time slot finishes off. Immediately the answer gets checked on its own. Of course, you have to fill in the data before you give the test. So you already have the responses, and once the responses come to you, you can just send them the corrected or evaluated response according to the test evaluated, and people get their marks. It's usually done again online. Then there is another app which is called Class Plus. I use this app. Of course, this is a paid app. Google Forms a free app, but you can use Class Plus. Talk to these people. They are very helpful. What you can do is ready-made tests are there. You can give that. You can make your own test and give to the children, and that is time-based testing you can do with the competency. Next we come to is uh, these are the ways you can do. Then you can give them fill in the blanks, and then you can give them, these are I think there's hardly anything to explain. Multiple choice questions you can give them. So these are the way you can check your students performance, right? Apart from this, we have performance assessment. You can ask them to make presentations. You can tell them to submit papers. You can tell them to do projects. Now let's start with presentations. What kind of presentations? See, you can have PowerPoint presentation. I think our groups of business studies are full of PowerPoint presentations, and all people have been so helpful and so collaborative and sharing their work, hard work with each other. It's lovely. Very nice teachers. Next, you have Flash. Now, where you want to highlight anything, when you want to highlight something very, very specific, you can use Flash or interactive media. See, here only main point is being flashed. So this is another way. You can pick up one of the kind of video and just show it to your children and share this information on the screen while teaching Zoom or even on the other platforms. Then apart from flash or interactive or multimedia presentation, you can show them videos, or you can show them films, or you can even ask them to make documentary films and then share the information, and you can share it with your children. Then another way of asking them is whiteboard presentation. This is coming up very much these days, and it is easier to explain also. Many people are doing it on the YouTube channel also. So this whiteboard presentation is another way. There's a problem. There's a call out here. Okay. Next is, all right, there was some, just 1 minute. Okay, I think, right, sorted. I hope I'm audible to all of you now. Now, next type is when you talk about is paper-based. These are your simple questions which you give to your children, ask them to, answer. So these are the different ways. I just have shown it to you so that you know about it. And let's come to another major. Now, I hope competency-based education, curriculum, pedagogy, and when you talk about pedagogy and when you talk about the outcomes, all is clear to you. It's nothing new. Only slight change is where the CBSE want you to make the learning more adaptable and more to the present scenario. Since you don't have face-to-face interaction with your students, they want you to conduct things online in such a manner that the learning capability of the students increases and they're able to use the same thing practically. Next we come to is what? Revised CBSE curriculum. Dear teachers, I'll be sharing all this with you in an e-booklet. So, we'll just go through it topic wise. I think we all know what was the original syllabus and what is the revised syllabus. There are two places where people have little doubt. One is third chapter, where people have doubts with whether liberalization, privatization, globalization is there or not, and or only impact has been deleted. Now, as per some of the authors, teachers, and as per the kind of CBSE curriculum issued last year, liberalization, privatization, globalization, as well as the impact and responses to the changes were there. Now, this year, they have just limited it to LPG. Liberalization, privatization, globalization is there. Impact and responses are not there since it is not mentioned in either of the places. So, impact is mentioned, it is not there, but then responses are not mentioned, so we'll not do it. Demonetization will not pick up. So, these are the two topics which have been actually deleted, and this has happened in the third chapter. So in case, again, in case if you have asked your students to prepare some kind of project on it, let it be. It is good you've taught them something which they will be using later on and they'll be thanking you. Like for example, single use plans and standing plans. This topic is also clearly deleted, so there is no doubt about that. Let's come to organizing, where formal and informal is deleted. There's no doubt about that. So functional divisional structure, organizing, organizational structure, then your delegation, decentralization, all these topics are there as it is. Staffing. Now, I would like to be a little specific out here. I've kept my book so that I can be a little specific. I could have, learned the pages also, but I just wanted to tell you that from staffing page number, get it very, very clear, dear teachers. Page number 144, 145, 146, and 147 as per the new book, right? CBSE, NCERT, latest book, page number 144, staffing as part of human resource, to 147, that is the, to 146 rather, because staffing process is there, but the initial part is introduction. So till 146, it is deleted, it is not there in your syllabi. That is staffing when you talk about as a part of human resource management. Next is directing. Directing, this was lot of hue and cry about it. Now, dear teachers, a very simple thing. It has been given in explanation. You have to make them understand it's effective communication. Okay, no problems. What is not to be discussed is how to overcome these barriers. If you remember very well, those who have good teaching experience and they do remember, this topic was included just 2-3 years back and they have deleted the same topic. Barriers to effective communication have not been deleted, and even board deletes it after 2 or 3 months or just before the beginning of the exam. What is the problem? There's no problem at all. There's no problem at all. What we have done is extra. We have already done something extra with them which has been deleted by board. So even if we do 4 topics extra, what difference does it make to be on the safer side? It's always good for our children. They're learning something which we can teach them better. So I think this query, barriers to effective communication, it's a request, teachers. I would be doing it with my students. It is good if you do it. Yes, to overcome, we are not going to take up in the examination or for any kind of testing. Then relationship between planning and controlling, that's deleted, it's given clear. And so we go with, this is again of your first book. Second book, if we talk about, we're going to talk about the chapters financial market, financial management. Nothing has been deleted out here. So there are no changes. But when we talk about the next one, that is when we talk about marketing, physical distribution, right? Its concept and channels all has been deleted. So if you see it very clearly, physical distribution has been deleted and concept, components and channels. Components were added 2 years back, right? They have been deleted. So physical distribution. What about the advantages and disadvantages of divisional functional structure? That topic has not been touched at all. Why are we emphasizing on that topic at all? Only formal and informal organization has been deleted. That's it. So there is nothing to do with functional and divisional structure at all. Then again with marketing, only physical distribution, components and channels of distribution has been deleted. Whereas with consumer protection, importance of consumer protection and role of NGOs, non-government organization, and its functions, that has been deleted. I hope the deleted part is clear to you. There's only one problem or one controversy where we as teachers have doubts, that is effective to, yeah, ma'am, physical distribution component, then what will be done in the place mix? Yeah, very nice question, that what is to be done in the place mix. Now, what you do is with place mix, I'll just read out. I don't have the latest book 2 with me. I have the old book 2. So I'll just tell you which pages to do, because I always go by the pages. When you're going to take up physical distribution, you will take up page number, just a moment, page starting from here. Now, physical distribution, page number 335, you will take up the introduction, channels of distribution, right? Then page 336, 337 deleted, 338 deleted. You will only take up types of channels, direct and indirect, right? Direct and indirect. Can we go back to the slide where we have marketing part of it? Can we just go back to the slide so that I make it clear to the teachers? Just a moment, my team is working on it. See, physical distribution, yeah, just above. Yeah. So here we've been given physical distribution, and you have been given with physical distribution out here, right? Concept, components, and this little glitch in my slide. Okay, so we have here out here physical distribution, concept, components, and channels of distribution, right? So channels of distribution, you just do the direct in and indirect channel in brief. Otherwise, complete physical distribution has been deleted. Just the basics of it, that there is a direct channel and indirect channel. Nothing to do with the components, nothing to do with the channels, nothing to do with the concept. Wherein nothing has been mentioned about factors determining the right choice of channels of distribution. So just to be on safer side, again, I would like to mention, just to be on the safer side, we will take up this topic for our children. I'm repeating. This is again what I think is important from our students' point of view. Whatever clarity CBSE will give us later on in any of the circulars, we'll welcome it. I always believe doing little extra is not bad, but not teaching, and if it comes in the exam, is a problem. Why? Once features of planning, if you remember, features of planning were deleted by the board, and it came in the exam for 4 months. So I often teach my children that whenever you get any topic like features, remember any kind of function will always have pervasive, will always have achieving objectives, like all these things will be included. Ma'am, factors were no. Yeah, correct explanation is required. Factors were not, they have not been properly deleted. They still give questions. In Delhi board also they have been giving questions. So in Delhi board also they have been giving questions on the same, right? So like for barriers to effective communication, last year there was a question in one of the CBSE paper where what they did was they asked the 6 marks question. It was, they asked the barriers, they asked how to overcome them, they asked for the explanation of the content of the barriers. So they can do anything. So we have to do a little wait and watch, but teaching little extra would not make any difference. I always play it safe by telling my children this may be deleted. Before you actually begin with your exam, right information will be given to you, provided to you. But to be on the safer side, where you're doing so much, just do 2 pages extra. So starting with when you have to write about place mix, when you get a question on 4 P's, when you get a question on 4 P's, just mention the place mix on page number 315. Simply 315 place mix. But when you're talking about the proper, if there's a question on physical distribution, actually they would not give on an extended form, but in case there is this page 335, you can give for reference 338 in brief and 339, and factors to be considered, because physical distribution has been deleted. They have not given anything. The components has been deleted, concept has been deleted, but nowhere it is mentioned clearly what about the factors about determining the choice of channels of distribution. All right, I think that we talk about we've talked about the change in the curriculum. In case if you have any other questions, you can always discuss. These things will be provided to you. Next we are talking about is my next slide is on a different thing. We're going to talk about the paper design. Now Just a moment. Okay. Now, we are talking about, right, we're talking about the paper design, what we are going to get this year. I think teachers, you must have, you know, read it in your this thing curriculum, that what kind of alternative academic calendar you're getting and what is going to be the paper design for you. So these are the two things which we need to discuss. I'm starting with the alternative academic calendar, and I would not detail it out for you. Why? Because we've already done this academic calendar points out here. See, if you just check it out with academic calendar, you will find that I've given some information out here. And this is the information from the CBSE circular. What they have done is they have divided the academic calendar into different weeks. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. I think teachers, you already make your lesson plans accordingly. So there is no need to teach about that. Now, with week 1 is again, they're emphasizing the same thing. If you're talking about business studies, part 1, principles and functions of management, first chapter, nature and significance of management, or you're talking about second chapter or third chapter. So let's start with the first chapter. And if you're talking about it, first thing first you need to do is teachers are advised to collect success stories or the timeline of big business houses operating in India for the past several decades and weave it into a story to arrive at a discussion on concept and nature of management. How I do it? Okay, how I do it? I do it in a very different way. Usually, success stories are told, or sometimes success stories of people from Ludhiana, the people who become entrepreneurs, our own ex-students who become entrepreneurs. Their stories are related. Their stories are related. So that's how week 1 goes. Then week 2, can we just hold on for a minute because I have some another group of people where the meeting is stopped because of something. Well, anyhow, we'll continue. Let's see how they catch on with us. Next is we talk about the concept of management. This is your, again, same week 1 theme. Next, when you talk about concept of management, what you have to do is you have to talk about different features. You have to talk about how used in day-to-day activity. You can do it anyways, the way you like. These features can be inculcated either with the same story you began with, or you can just give them a role play on features. Like you have case studies, similarly, you give them a role play. Or you can give them some kind of, you can give them a brochure, let them make a brochure on different features and tell them to relate it to the real life story. So that can include vision statement, mission statement, objective, growth strategies, all these things. That's how the second thing can be done. Now, when you talk about week 2, they're talking about coordination, and you can explain coordination as well as what? You can explain the process, the functions of management. All these two things you can explain properly to the students. How? By giving them again a situation. Once you give them this situation and they work according to that situation, it works in the benefit of the students. I'll give you example. Like in a school, we can give them a situation like that of a school, that you are in school and there are two teachers. One is your economics teacher and one of you is economics teacher, one of you is accountancy teacher, one of you is English teacher. And you have to, come together, and what you need to do is you need to come out in coordination and do one activity for your class. This activity can be using the functions, that is planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling, and using the features or importance of coordination. So you explain the concept of coordination as well as cooperation to the children directly through an activity. Next you can do is, next they have third and fourth week where they talk about the various nature of management. Like when I talk about science, when I talk about art, when I talk about profession, I give them live examples and I tell them how how do you identify a person who's an artist? How do you actually are able to understand this person is scientist? So when they're able to differentiate between the two with whatever knowledge they have from their basic studies from 1 to 11 standard, they when the moment they are able to identify these two differences, it's easier for them to cultivate, or they are able to make a story, weave a story. I usually tell them to weave a story around how this science can be applied to the management. Many times they use wrong examples, many times they do some things which are not apt, but they come out with different answers, and which is for the benefit for their or the other students as well as the other teachers or people whosoever it is, like the students can get on along with them easily. Now, that's how we talk about the alternative academic calendar. So we just took up one activity. You can take up again principles of management. You can talk about Kiran Majumdar, the CEO of Biocon. Her example has been given. You can talk about FIOL. You can talk about anybody. Give live case studies of using of principles of management. Like I gave you example of IIM, that Chaiwala outside. And then you can teach the 14 principles of management accordingly, putting into the 4-week lesson plan curriculum. All right, here we have, I have shared with you the CBSE circular about alternative academic calendar. So you can just, and this will again be shared in the e-booklet. So you can just take it out from there. Apart from that, apart from these guidelines given in the academic calendar, which I've already discussed with you, uh, you know, and the lesson plan, which is competency based, we are going to just work on few things which are, practically done. So what I have done is when I made this lesson plan, this was given in the circular as it is. Like I told you, 4-week division you do. How you going to do? I'm giving you examples out here. If you can see, they have made a word out here, acronym out here called engage. This is again CBSE circular, Annexure B, if I'm not mistaken. And in this, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points given. Engage. I have divided it for you. Can you just go to the next page and just check it out? Next slide, sorry. I'm just shifting to the next slide. I have differentiated. Like for before starting class, you can have pre-assessment quiz. What I do is, I do a SWOT analysis with my class. You know what is SWOT analysis? Strength, weakness, opportunity, threat. I don't do SWOT analysis of anybody else. I tell the children to do their own SWOT analysis. The moment they do SWOT analysis for them, their own selves, like what is your strength? Like I give example, my strength is I'm very honest. My weakness is I'm very emotional. My opportunity is that I want to be an education minister. But the threat for me is that I'm teaching in CBSE. So I give them examples like this. And that's how the pre-assessment quiz starts. Or you can tell them some, activity with planning process and career planning. So you can use, or maybe you can tell them to make a brochure on functions of management. So this is how you're going to energize the learners. Give me a break, please. After energizing the learners, let's come to the next slide. Now, how do we navigate the content for them? So you have online, you can give them, can we come to the next slide? Can we come to the next slide, ma'am? Yeah, thank you so much. All right, so we can take online, we can take video, we can take, this one is running behind. This one is running behind. No, it's running behind. We can have online, we can have video, we can have then handouts, lectures, we can have storytelling. So how we do that? Handout, you can give handout of PDF, you can give handout of PDF to your students, and they can effectively work out with that kind of handouts. Then, for example, when you talk about demonstration, when you talk about demonstrating something, I do this often in my class. I tell my children to write an application to the teacher, and in my school, we need a business studies teacher, and tell them to, write down a kind of a resume, give it to me, and on the basis of the resume, I select a committee, a selection board, and then we select 5 or 6 people who are to apply for the job. This is all done by my students in simple class, and complete selection process is properly demonstrated with the children, and they enjoy it, one, and they work on it effectively, two. Next we come to is when you talk about the review and teaching part of it, then you talk about, like I've given you here, we have group activity, team activity, we've been talking about it, peer teaching learning, concept map, I've given you mind maps, I've told you about it, case studies, quiz, role play, song and artwork. We do this lot. We do advertisements. We pick up advertisements and jingles, which are very common, and on the basis of the advertisement and jingles, we make different kind of jingles on functions of management. We made jingles on organizing process also. You will not believe. So that's how we work. Next, generate meaning. When you talk about generate meaning, again, here when I'm talking about generating meaning, see, you need to have some kind of aha effect. Now, what is aha effect? When you out of box thinking, when people actually want to go in for something very, very, you know, exclusive. So how do you, the aha effect you can create in your classes, you can talk about or discuss about business environment, COVID-19 steeple. I created aha effect in my class by talking about demonetization, including political scenario. I made the aha effect in my class when I talked about the condition of women in the society. And there were many people who came out with very honest answers. So generally, you can make any aha effect and then relate to your subject. Like if you talk about women in the society, it's social environment. When you talk about technology, it's technological environment. You can relate to any chapter and you can work on it. You can create flip charts. You can make flip charts and tell them how to work on it. If you want, I will share a making of flip chart also next time, or otherwise you can search online also. So that's one of the ways you can tell your children to do some way of working on the particular thing. So they generate some kind of answers out of it. Now, when people demonstrate this skill, this is very commonly done. We ask them to make magazines. We do it every year. In our school, every year we ask different standard students to make magazines on different topics. And then we put an exhibition for that. Then there's a PTM. And when the parents come and they see the exhibition and they see that what their contribution their child had made, it makes them, really proud of the children. Or sometimes our children make documentary film. Like one of our students made a documentary film about the working of our school and how teachers actually contribute towards their betterment. So, and we have different clubs in our school which operate every Saturday. There was another child who made documentary on that. You just, this is applying whatever they have learned. And we have different clubs, photography club, and all these people, when they demonstrate their skill in general, contributing to the class studies with their this knowledge, it makes them apply to the real life situation. For many years, at least I think for 2 or 3 years, I had my own student doing recording of all our functions of 11th and 12th through his own uh, through his own drone. He used to use his own drone to do the recording, and I gave him marks in business studies project 20 out of 20 because of his creativity for doing these things. So that's how, see, real life situation. And today he's studying in Australia, doing very well. And one of his extra activity is how to work on these internet and learning about the online aspect of the things. So he's been into more of computer graphics is the right word. Last is when you talk about gosh the learning. So now you have to see that how things which were learned by the children can be presented back to you. So PPTs are one of the best ideas. And when you talk about PPTs, how they, what you do is you can tell them to make PPTs in different forms. I've given you videos, I've given you different documentaries, I've given you different kinds. So any kind of PPTs, any kind of demonstration, what we have in our school is mock parliament. So how do we go ahead with the mock parliament? In like same, we create a similar kind of situation as parliament, and we pick up different situation. Then we pick up another aspect of learning. Instead of mock parliament, we have MUNs. and they also work on a very United Nation that kind of meeting. So they also work on that basis, and that's where they discuss the problems of different countries. Sometimes you discuss problem of different departments of a school, and they are able to present their ideas in a better way. Next slide is that when we talk about is, yeah, everyone has our own school unions. That's why I told you it is like United Nations you have, but then we have our own within school. I mean, somebody wrote about Enman they have. Undoubtedly, we participate for those also. We go out of India also. We go to Hyderabad also, but then we have within our school for our own students. All right. Next, what we are talking about is we are talking about a extended now. What are the extended activities you can do for your children? How? I think you can see all the logos and all are easily recognizable. So we have Hangouts, we have WhatsApp, we have Blogger, we have Twitter, Skype, Telegram, LinkedIn, we have YouTube, and you can find lots of Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook. We have a lot of these information available to us and on different these platforms, and you can share anything. This is something new which I came to know. Edmodo is something new which I came to know about just few days back. Again, it is something like you have Google Meet, exactly like that. There's a platform where you can share your online teaching easily with your children. So you can just try it out. This is also free. It's free also, and it is paid also. You can always try it. It's like Zoom only or Google Meet only, but that's something which has come up and it's use based. So these are the extended activities how you can share your work with your children at this time of pandemic. So when we talk about these lesson plans, how we're going to make for alternative academic calendar, these are the activities which you can always pick up. I have another very important thing which I did my Reiki on for all of you. I just created some ideas for project work. The project work is already given to you to all the teachers, and you already have, you know it very well that board is expecting our children to do the paper pen project work. So instead of just and here and there we keep on listening to the kind of grapevine that they have to do project from home, they don't have to go out. So there are some ideas for projects starting with business environment. You can actually include the present day scenario along with the project ideas. Like when we're talking about the project ideas for project work, I have the first project work idea is changes witnessed in last few years on mode of packaging and its economic impact. So use of cardboards is in COVID-19. Just excuse me for a minute. Yeah. So use of cardboards. Now in Uganda and many other places, cardboards are being used by hospitals for making hospital beds, right? They're using cardboards for making hospital beds, and they're using these cardboards for making partitions in the office because they do for social distancing. So this is one topic you can give. Then you can also talk about changing role of women. COVID-19, I think we all are working women, and we are playing a very heavy dual role of working from home and working in home. Initially the situation was different. When we used to go to the school, at least 8 hours ka relaxation used to be there for us. But now working from home and working in home, both goes hand in hand. Many times I hear whenever the webinar finishes off, the female teachers telling the children, okay, do this, eat this, it comes in between. So it's very natural and phenomenal. It's okay. Then changes in the pattern of import and export of different products during COVID-19. You can get the list from the internet. Changing in the interest rates and the effect on talking about the savings during COVID-19. Can again get the information online. Social factors affecting acceptance and rejection of some products during COVID-19. Whatever the products you feel are like, from ready to eat food to eating food outside to tiffin centers. Then man-machine ratio and technological advances. We know there's a lot of technological upgradation, as well as effect of changes in technology, environment, and behavior of employees during COVID-19. So you can use any of these topics for business environment. Next, principles of management. This, of course, I've shared the same thing with my students. I'm sharing it with you people also. Like principles of management, can be used with this way that when you talk about people to work from home, you can emphasize upon how principles were used in a joint family, nuclear family, and single parent family. And also you can take up scientific management in a grocery store or a pharmaceutical, or you can take even principles of management in a grocery store and pharmaceutical, and with techniques of scientific management, principles of management in the vice versa manner. So in the nuclear family, joint family, nuclear family, single parent family, you can take scientific management techniques out there. Whichever way you like, just this is an idea. Yeah. Next we have, next slide we have is on next topic, stock exchange. Not much of the changes there, but then you can discuss about the price of gold stocks. There's a comma there by mistake, so it can be price of gold stocks, and then securities of the different companies at the time of COVID-19. People were anticipating the prices are going to go down, prices went high, went down. There was a lot of halchal happening, lot of chaos happening at the stock exchange. So children have uh, numerous data for 4 months, that about 25 companies which they have to prepare, and they can keep COVID-19 in mind and prepare it. Next slide is on marketing. So apart from the 77 products given by CBSE, we can use some COVID-centric, so okay, COVID-19, COVID-centric products like masks, sanitizer, PPE kits, gloves, disinfectants, cleaning essentials, thermal guns, sanitizer stands. So you can use, you can give any of these, and or they can talk about personal hygiene, they can different time, right? Um, teachers, I just have to teachers, I just have to tell you something. See, we have assessment out here. Check this. We have assessment out here. So the assessment remains the same, and it is for 20 marks. Probably this year we may not get people from outside. We may not get externals to do the evaluation. We may not get externals. We may have to do it ourselves. How the assessment will be done, how the things will be done, none of us are sure about it, but we have to be ever ready like we have always been. So it's just an initiative that we have to be ever ready with whatever board decides, not that on the last day we ask our children to prepare the project. So we're just being ready with it. Any changes, we'll comply with it. I have a request to make teachers. I'll be sharing my Google form for feedback in the chat session, and in the chat option, and you can just fill in, and we'll give you some time to fill that. The time will be open till 8 o'clock, so you can simply fill it in and send it to me as feedback, right? Now we're coming to the next thing, that is change in the CBSE question paper. When we talk about change in the CBSE question paper, what is the format? We're coming to the format. See, now a lot of anticipation. CBSE has been talking about many things. They have been talking about that, there are going to be 50 marks, 50% would be objective type questions, and 50% would be something else. Then when they came out with their final outcome, there was something else. See, teachers, if you actually make a comparative analysis of that type, this thing given to us, this question paper design given to us, okay, you just look into it. The first thing what we have is remembering and understanding, right? First thing we have is remembering and understanding. Second thing we have is applying. What they have done for 2021 is, what they have done for 21 is that they have, if you talk about the previous one, not this one, so what they've done, can I have the previous year's slide first, then I'll come to the comparative analysis. I'll use, yeah, can I have previous year's slide, last year's? First I want last year's slide in the center also. Okay, now this is March 1920. We have remembering, understanding, and applying. Can you see these three things together? Now, remembering, understanding, and applying, they are there. Applying is for 19 marks, understanding and remembering is for 23 and 21 marks. In the new one, what they have done is remembering and understanding has been combined and made for 44 marks. Please check. Remembering and understanding has been put together to make it for 44 marks. Applying is for 19 marks, and analyzing, evaluating, right, that is same for 17 marks. Nothing has been changed in reality. Same kind of same kind of division is there, except that this division except that this division is little bit mixed up, or they have amalgamated it. So remember, when you talk about the first part of it, remembering and understanding, it has been amalgamated. Second is applying. Third is then analyzing, evaluating, and what we are talking about, creating. It is same. First is for again 44, 23, 21 the same, 19 same, 17 same. Only thing will be that if there is a change, this is my opinion, my thought process. I'm not giving you any ideas. In case COVID-19 continues and we do not know about the pattern of question paper, there is a possibility that we may have more of objective type questions and lesser of 3, 4, 5 marks question, right? But if we have paper pen test, I think they may use the same format what they were using before. That is 6 3 marks question and 4 mark question, 5 4 mark question, and then 1 mark question 20, and then 5 marks question 3 6 mark question. Say they may use the same pattern. They may change it also. That purely depends upon the situation ahead. That is the reason we have not been given any kind of segregation. So don't get worried. We have to study on the same pattern. I mean, we have to concentrate on the same pattern. We have to concentrate on remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, creating. We have to work on the same pattern. There is hardly any change, except for that the case studies will be 10%, case-based questions will be 10% in the board examination. So since we do not have any kind of marking scheme, we do not have any kind of mark allocation, we have to wait till the sample paper comes in the month of September. We'll be waiting for that, but the pattern remains the same. We have to teach our children in the same manner. Whether they are appearing for 20 marks subjective, 20 marks objective type questions, or they are appearing for 40 marks objective type question. If we are giving them each and every topic, we are explaining them the concept. We are making them mark the keywords. We are giving them 1 mark question. Our work is done. Right? Okay. Next, we have next slide. Okay. Formation of different types of objective questions. Now, I've prepared a kind of, the types of question which you have. We are going to talk about. I've given you here 10 types of question. This will be given to you in the e-booklet. Okay. Now, whether they are 40 or they are 20, these are the kind of questions you might get, and these are the actual competency based questions. First is statement and assertion type. We give you one statement, we give another statement, and then we ask you whether both the options are correct, and is statement 2 correct explanation of statement 1. Then again, both the options are correct, but statement 2 is not correct explanation of statement 1, or statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is wrong, statement 2 is correct or 1 is wrong. That's one kind of statement and assertion type of questions. Second is source-based question, right? In this question, statement type question, I have given you from the topic nature and significance of management. Anything minus management is equal to nothing. Second question, this is again source-based. Now source-based from the book. I've asked you to identify a concept where robotics and computers are used in present day scenario, right? There are 4 options given. Children have to choose this. This is one of the concepts from the book. Then again, source-based question, how? please get it very clear. Source-based question is not always going to do with what is coming in the newspaper. Not always. I'm telling you very clearly, not always. The children need to be aware of what is happening around them. Source-based questions are basically the boxes which have been given and the sources which have been given, and according to those sources, the questions will be asked. Like here we have another question in the same source-based. I've given question about Kiran Majumdar using the qualities of principles of management. What are these qualities? So if you see the book, you will find that nature of management definition. Nature means characteristics or qualities of a particular nature, and principles of management may you will find that nature of principles of management means characteristics or qualities one need to identify. So same again, this is a source based question. This is for what? The typology of question. Next kind of question which we can always discuss is match the following. You can pick up, I have picked it up from business environment, social environment. I picked up tradition, values, social trend, and social environment. And I've given options out here. So you can always pick up match the following questions. You have to decide which topic are you giving the match the following question from. Next type of question which comes is, can we have next slide? Case-based question. Like I've given here, planning promotes innovation and creativity. Manu says planning promotes innovation and creativity or innovation, and Tanu says planning restricts innovation. Who is correct? Now, children often tend to answer that either of them will be correct. Why? Because one is limitation, one is not. One is the importance. Here, both are correct because planning actually restricts innovation and it also promotes innovation. So both are correct. Again, this is a kind of a simple one-line case study. Just have to put in with the children and a case study. Or you can have a kind of case study given in the sample paper. This is about one of the case studies given, and we have to identify the function as well as now. This is a MCQ with multi-select. This is not a single select question. This is an MCQ with multi-select where I've asked identify the function and the characteristic. So function is planning out here and the characteristics is focus on achieving objectives. If child chooses controlling, it can have the characteristic of pervasive in controlling also. Or if it is function is given directing, they can have pervasive. There also children can always choose wrong. Planning and pervasive, they can choose that also. So these are multi-select questions. You can give these. These are available on your Google Forms. You can give to the children to ask. You can. There is an option there, single select or multi-select. You can give them these kind of multi-select question. That way they can learn better and get adapted to better kind of use of technology as well as competency-based questions. Then fill in the blank. You can give. Like I've given, decentralization is an dash decision. Compulsory, optional, and then I've given them essential or organized. Now, of course, it's an optional decision, but then what is there? And is there, so children might, they might not take up compulsory, they might take rest of the three. And the answer is optional. They can go in for organized or essential, either of them depends, because my children went in for organized decision, whereas it is an optional decision. So that's how children make mistake with. All right. Next, it based question. Now what you can do is, like I have here, it is shifting of employee from one job to another, or from one department to another, or from one and then there's no change in responsibility or status of the employee identified. This answer comes here is transfer. Children might take up job rotation. Why? Because shifting of the employee from one job to another. Here, when job rotation question will be given, shifting of an employee is not the word. Shifting of trainee would be the word. So that is a difference where children will go wrong. You can always check them with these kind of it question, it based question. Now I've given you a flow chart out here, and this is a flow chart question. This is a process of what? Motivation. Children will not be able to identify because we have taught them process of planning, process of organizing, process of staffing, process of selection, and process of controlling. We never talk about motivation process, and this is where they might not be able to answer. One tick mark is there, only motivation. All right. Next is pictorial recognition. Now this can be given. What is this? Identify the picture. This is from your consumer protection, whether it is egg mark, or it is Hallmark, or it's Natramark, or there's no Natura mark. Okay, we just give it for confusion. Or is it Ecomark? So this is Ecomark, talking about the eco-friendly or environment-friendly goods. So these are the typology of questions which you can always use for competency based. Now, teachers, before winding off, I just want to tell you that there are some important roles which we need to play, and what are these important role as a teacher, or what is in competency based as a management, in case if you're from part of the coordinator, or you're a vice principal or anything like that, or as a teacher, or as a student, or as a parent, what are the roles we need to play. So I have just a few slides. So role of teacher or principal is that you need to enable opportunities for continuous and joyful and meaningful learning during COVID-19. I think I've given you lots of ideas on joyful learning, and you can use your own creativity, you can use your own innovation to do these things, and you can give child-centric activities you can make, so that children come out with new ideas, and you can come up with the latest knowledge, and whatever is there, so that becomes a little beneficiary for the children, and they're able to understand it better. So that is one thing that the role of the teacher or the principal is. I've given you ideas about how to use quiz, how to use riddles, how to use different kind of PPTs. So this is how child-centric learning. You can ask them to make brochures, you can ask them to make handouts, exchange it with the children. I have given to my children to make handouts on different chapters, and then we are going to exchange it once we meet. So effective way. Student becomes more active learner, becomes mentally and physically fit, and then he tries to search out few things. Give them few words. Like for example, whenever I take up chapter stock exchange, I always talk about Bitcoin to my children. So that makes them, search out a little extra about what's happening around. I always talk about Harshad Mehta, what he did. I always talk about what is happening in the stock exchange in the present scenario. So it makes them, and respect and honor your surroundings. So the student becomes, of course, once we respect them, they respect us like double the time. And then when you talk about the role of the parents, we are parents as well as teacher. So when we talk about the role of parents, it's very important that you create atmosphere during COVID-19, which is like stress-free. And please stop comparing, and don't punish your children. Give them a balanced diet. Tell your parents to do this. What I do is I write a message in the parents group, and I tell them, today we will not be doing any chapter. I want to play Antakshari with the complete class. And I do play Antakshari with the complete class. Whole class plays Antakshari. We play some or the other game, and can you believe we've been playing so many online games? I give them 2-3 days. After 3-4 days, again we play a game. So you have to be a role model for your children as parent, as teacher. These kind of ideas we can bring in actually joyful learning for our children. So now I'm open for question and answer session. If you have any, please ask your doubts. I think I have plenty of things on my chat box, and I hope feedback form is shared with you. And somebody asked me for art integrated project. Ma'am, art integrated project is not for +2, so please don't worry about it. And if you really want to know about the integration of art in the project, we did some kind of webinar about the same in webinar 4. We talked about it, so I can share with you that YouTube video, and you can always use it. So kindly, meanwhile others are asking question, rest of you can fill the feedback form. I'll be very, very happy and thankful to you. And you've been lovely people, lovely audience, lovely teachers. And in case if there is any suggestion, please come out with your suggestions to me. I'll always be happy to take up any kind of suggestions. Okay, I have some question coming from here. Feedback form I provided, and effective and efficient we have. Then e-booklet will be generated. Yeah, once you send your feedback forms, we will generate e-booklet as well as certificate. And those who are going to fill up the feedback form are the ones who will get their e-certificate and e-booklet. Right. Thank you. People have been appreciating it. Is informative. I hope it solved your purpose and query about competency based. I hope it solved your query about about competency based things. Yeah, I hope. Yeah, I hope the session was useful to you people. Is there anybody else who wants to ask any question? I would like to not receive. Okay, we're sending you 1 minute. Just a second. We're sending you a feedback form here. Sharing the feedback form with you. Okay, just 1 minute. And you can always for any kind of information on chapters, we've done 1 to 6 chapter on my YouTube channel. You can always go through it. In case if you need any kind of material for your children, you can give them the same link and you can share it with them. I've been doing it with my children. That is another way of reaching the children at the time of COVID. So taking this initiative. Are there any queries? Meanwhile, others are filling up the form. Oh, thank you so much. Somebody said the type of question is very innovative. Thank you so very much. I'll be sharing these questions in the e-booklet with you, and you can frame more questions. Yes, my YouTube channel is by my name only, Pankil Priya, Pankil Priya, Pankil Priya. So you can always, see that. Yeah, riddles. Dr. Bhavna, what I'll do is just send us your in your feedback form. Please send this to us, and what we'll do is we'll share our webinar 2. Webinar 2 and webinar 3 is completely on riddles and nothing else, and you will find it very exciting. Principles of management and scientific management have been done on riddle and phrases and idioms. So you'll really enjoy it. Please go through that webinar. Yeah, please do. Please do. So you just write it in the feedback form and we'll supply you with the material. No problems at all. With the answers. They are there with the answers in that. So you can just go through all the riddles anytime. Anyone has any other question or query you want to ask about? And please, teachers, these are this is what haven't received feedback form. We'll just give it to you, sir. Just give me a minute. We're just sending you feedback form out here. I will just send it to you. 1 minute. Any other questions if you want? And for art integrated project, we don't have it in 12th. I'm repeating it. So please don't get worried about. There's nothing. There's just simple. To my understanding, there is hype about it. So please, ma'am, please take session on 11th change syllabus. Yeah, very shortly after this, we'll be doing a session on what kind of competency base. There we have art integrated project. I'll take up there for sure. In 11th, we have art integrated project. We'll be taking up that at that time. Sure, undoubtedly. Okay, riddles and crossword puzzles. Please suggest a chapter. In your feedback form, please suggest a chapter on which you want riddles and puzzles. Riddle and puzzles will do with that. No problems at all. Apart from that, any other questions or any other discussion you want, or you want to know anything, you're most welcome. We'll share the booklet to you on, I think, WhatsApp along with your e-certificate. Okay, somebody wants me to take a webinar on online trading procedure. Ma'am, we've not yet moved to book 2. We are just taking a book 1. So in case if there is anything to do with staffing, directing, controlling, please come up with it. After that, we'll be switching over to financial management because there are many queries about financial management and then financial markets. For sure, I'll be taking up ASAP. Any other queries if you have? Yeah, all my videos are uploaded about the webinar. They are all uploaded. Pankil Priya webinar. Okay, for sure. I'll take financial and divisional structure. No problems at all, Manya ma'am. I'll do that. I'll do that. Functional and divisional structure. I'll do that. No problems at all. Geeta ma'am, all these are, you can access my videos for YouTube teaching. It is Pankil Priya, and for webinar, it is Pankil Priya webinar. Yes, all the webinars, webinar 1, 2, 3, 4, all are uploaded on YouTube. PDF, I don't, ma'am, I'm a resource person. I don't give notes and PDFs. I can share an e-booklet for this session because this is very important and that is my understanding. So I can share the e-booklet and I'll be sharing it with you today. So that is not a problem. Anyone else has any questions to ask, you're most welcome to do that. No, the techniques of controlling are not there in the course. No, there is no need to teach them because PERT and CPM is a topic which is to be done at graduation level. So there is no need to touch the techniques except for budgetary control. And this year that is also not required to be taught. Why? Because budget is part of types of plan and that is a deleted topic. So that is also not required to be done. In your marketing project, somebody asked me in the marketing project, has the child is the child required to include physical distribution? Yes, child must include physical distribution. Why? Because after 12th, when they go to the college, they will have to study 4 Ps. COVID-19 will not continue after this. God bless. It should not also, and neither the side effects. So at that time, the child will get confused that how to distribute the goods, because when we ask them to prepare project on marketing, what we do is we tell them to prepare, make their own product, and how will they physically distribute it, direct channel or indirect channel. So that part they have to do as it is. So they have to explain physical distribution in it. You cannot escape it. Okay. Types of channel, indirect and direct, we can always take up. What is the harm in taking that up? That is not a big problem. And moreover, physical distribution is not there. Channel of distribution, they have not said anything. Please try and understand, teachers, these two are different things. Physical distribution concept components is deleted, right? And channels. So that was, we were not doing it previously also. Components was added last year, they deleted it this year. So they do the channel of distribution part and tell them indirect and direct channel, very little information required, and factors affecting. Because last time they said factors is deleted, but they gave question on it for 6 months. So why to take risk? No, there is no chance. As far my knowledge goes, CBSE will not delete any other topics. They've deleted enough. My next webinar, you can get notification. It is sent through a poster only in the various groups. There are many commerce groups. How to access the PPT of all the webinars, e-booklet. Ma'am Geeta, I have not provided e-booklets before this. PPT was provided only for one session. And somehow my my laptop crashed and I don't have that PPT with me right now. So you will have to bear it with the webinar only. So there's a little glitch about it. Yeah, we can see in this one here. They won't be platform. Any other queries, teachers? Dear teachers, if you have. Any other queries if you have? Someone told me to add in the group. I am not admin in any group. And dear teachers, once again, I'm there as a resource person. I do not provide any kind of material. I can share with you ideas as many times as you want me to do. But I'm sorry, I'm a little restricted. I don't have any kind of notes or anything like that. Yes, job rotation is there. Job rotation is somewhat like transfer only that with job rotation word we use is trainee, and in transfer we use and employ. So yes, job rotation is there. Yeah. Anybody else? Any other questions, please? Please come out with your queries. Yes, case studies weightage is decreased to 10%. Yes, it has. It has. But we have to wait and watch, because what they can do is, with the first part of it, they can again come out with something else as an explanation, that these are the kind of question based on understanding. So they can be also based on case studies. So we know no risk to be taken. That's why I repeatedly said that please follow the old pattern of question paper only. Don't go beyond anything else. Let it be the same way, no problems at all. More direct questions will come, maybe, maybe not. We have to wait till September 2020 till CBSE gives the sample paper. Communication process is not there for explanation, but it's always better. If we want our students to understand what is communication, you need to tell them that there's a sender, there's a receiver, and what happens when there is noise, and how message is given, what is a path, what is a media. You need to tell them how feedback is important. So it's always better to do. What is source-based question? Sir, I will be providing you a booklet. You will find the source-based question. From chapter 2, I have picked up two source-based questions. One is on lean manufacturing, and the other is a case study about Kiran Majumdar, the CEO of Biocon. So you can always look at those questions, and that kind of questions can be taken up. Ritu ma'am, barriers of communication, we will be doing it. How to or overcome those barriers, we will not be doing it. To be on safer side, because barriers to communication has been given in the part which is to be done, and on the other part where it is deleted, it is written barriers to effective communication, how to overcome. So they wanted to tell you that how to overcome part is deleted. In case barriers to effective communication is deleted anytime, extra knowledge is not bad. Yeah, now 10% case studies. But ma'am, we have still not received the segregation. Please understand, where there is creativity required, again, that can be application-based question. So again, it can be in form of case study. It can be anything. We have to just wait and watch till September 2020. We cannot challenge CBSE, right? Yeah, my recording will be there on my YouTube channel, Pankaj Priya Webinar. You can check from there within 2 to 3 days. No, there was, Anita ma'am, there was no 100% limit. We had the 3 IDs circulated, and there was no such problem. So I think joining problem should not have been there. There were 3 IDs circulated, and I don't think so we had that kind of a problem. But anyhow, we'll share the recording with you. What we have to add in teaching chapters for new pattern? You have to be little upgraded, sir. You need to read more books. Like my suggestions have been going on: read 1 Minute Teacher, 1 Minute Manager, read Well Done, read Stay Hungry, Stay Foolish. These are the kind of books which have a lot of info about, or you can search online something about the entrepreneurs of our country, of your state, or invariably, and then you can narrate the same to the children and make the study, the teaching process more lively. Anything else? Okay, I think we have had good time. You're most welcome. All of you are most welcome. Thank you so very much, teachers, for cooperation and collaborating. And hope to see you all soon. Okay. Yes, Bhavna ma'am, financial market will be talked out very soon. I'll be taking up a webinar on that. So thank you so much, ma'am.